Started with the players draft. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Dream11 Trinidad T10 Blast Season 5 Players Draft. Of course, this year's edition, Season 5, will be played at the Queen's Park Oval between the 7th to the 21st of July 2024. And we will have games at 12 noon and 2:30 p.m. on each day. As with other editions, we have 8 franchises all represented here today, and each franchise has already named their 5 retained players. We will have 9 rounds of selections, so each team will end up with 14 players. As I mentioned earlier, there are players who have now become unavailable due to other commitments with other competitions and so on and so forth. What I'd like to do at this moment, though, is invite some opening remarks from the first Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board and Director of Cricket West Indies, Mr. Arjun Ramlal. And once Mr. Ramlal is completed, then we'll go through the retentions list, and then each franchise will have an opportunity to pick from the fishbowl to know who gets to pick first, who gets to pick second, and so on. So help me welcome Mr. Arjun Ramlal to bring some opening remarks. Mr. Ramlal?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me take the opportunity on behalf of the TTCB and to welcome all of you here, to apologize for the absence of the President, Mr. Azim Basarat, who is out of the jurisdiction, as you know, part of the World Cup ICC T20 competition that are presently taking place. Very interesting match last night. So we have the first semi-final in Trinidad tomorrow, the second one in Guyana on the 27th, and of course the final is on the 29th. Right, but we are preparing for our 5th season of the Dream11 T10 Blast. 8 franchises, as the chairman said, as in the case of last year, and we look forward to some exciting T10 cricket. The versions are getting shorter and shorter, from tests to 50 overs to T20 and now T10. And 8 franchises. Samp Army Kokriko Cavaliers, let's give them a round of applause and welcome them. Could they please indicate? Samp Army? Yeah, give them a round of applause. Then we have Parakeet Buccaneers. Parakeets, yeah. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Run Getters. Run Getters. Blue Devils, we understand, on the way and should be here in a short while. Soca Kings. Steel Pan Players. Yes, steel pan players are on the back there. They didn't start playing the pan yet, but Leatherback Giants. Leatherbacks, where are the Leatherbacks? Yeah, very well. So we look forward to some exciting cricket. I know the last few seasons produced a lot of sixes. I can't, anybody could recall how much sixes were scored last year? I know there's a register of sixes in all the tournaments, right? So hopefully we will be able to get that statistic at the end of the 2024 version. And as the chairman said, each of the franchises have 5 retained players and would choose 9 today from among the list. Some names might be out of circulation now by some withdrawals. Some players have indicated their unavailability because of other cricketing commitments, so some of the names they may have to be changed. But each team would have a chance to pick 9 players, not 9 at one time, but 1 at a time in rounds. So there will be 9 rounds of selections. Not so, Chairman? Yeah, 9 rounds of selections. So you have the opportunity to sit and chat and see who you're selecting based on the combinations that you would have in your team. All right? Yes, somebody inquired or something? Yeah, all right, so let me take the opportunity to wish all the teams and all the players all the best for that period of July 7th to 21st, and hope that we all enjoy the cricket and produce the kind of results that we wish to. So good luck to all the franchises and to all the players. Chairman, I return to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ramlal. So as Mr. Ramlal would have identified all the franchises here today, and I can see all the discussions presently ongoing. And what I will do now is just go through the retentions list, and then I will call each of the franchises to send a representative to pick from the fishbowl, so we will know who picks first and second and so on. So for the Sampami Kokriko Cavaliers, their retained players are Amir Django, Sharon Lewis, Cephas Cooper, Avinash Mahabir Singh, and Jean-Philippe Barry. So once again, Sampami's retained players are Amir Django, Sharon Lewis, Cephas Cooper, Avinash Mahabir Singh, and Jean-Philippe Barry. And just allow the ladies to remove these retained players from the list of 295 registered players this year for season 5. For the Parakeet Buccaneers, their retained players are Adrian Cooper, Keon Otley, Leonardo Julian, initially Jaden Seals, but Jaden is no longer available, so it will be Christopher Vincent and Ramesh Brijlal. So once again, Parakeet Buccaneers retained players Adrian Cooper, Keon Otley, Leonardo Julian, Christopher Vincent, and Ramesh Brijlal. For the Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, Carrie Pierre, Tion Webster, Camille Puran, Filton Williams, and Dexter Sween. And just one note for the Scorchers, Tion Webster will be unavailable for the first couple of weeks of the tournament due to other commitments. So the Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, they retain players once again. Carrie Pierre, Tion Webster, Camille Puran, Filton Williams, and Dexter Sween. For the run getters retentions are Nicholas Sukhdev Singh, Uthman Mohammed, Hakeem Mitchell, Tevon Jadu, and James Duncan. Once again, the run getters retentions, Nicholas Sukhdev Singh, Uthman Mohammed, Hakeem Mitchell, Tevon Jadu, and James Duncan. The Blue Devils, their retentions list includes Riyad Emirates, Tishon Castro, Adrian Ali, Ewart Nicholson, and Christopher Lamont. Once again, the Blue Devils have retained Riyad Emirates, Tishon Castro, Adrian Ali, Ewart Nicholson, and Christopher Lamont. The Soca Kings, their retentions are Sunil Narain, Kirsten Kalicharan, John Ross Jagisa, Dejon Charles, initially Jesse Bhutan, but Jesse has become unavailable as of this morning, so they will retain Chedion Raymond. Soca Kings, once again, their retentions, Sunil Narain, Kirsten Kalicharan, John Ross Jagasa, Dejon Charles, and Chedion Raymond in place of Jesse Bhutan, who is now unavailable. The Steel Pan players, their retentions, Dinesh Ramden, Anderson Phillip, Jed Guli, who was initially retained but has now entered the draft, and in his place will be Rakesh Maraj, Sidel Diaz, and Kastri Singh. So Steel Pan players, their retentions, Dinesh Ramden, Anderson Phillip, Rakesh Maraj, Sidel Diaz, and Kastri Singh. And the final franchise, the Leatherback Giants, their retentions are Damian Joachim, Rivaldo Ramlogan, Akil Cooper, Suraj Sipol, and Vishan Jagasa. Joachim, Rivaldo Ramlogan, Akil Cooper, Suraj Sipol, and Vishan Jagasa. And just a couple of players' notes before I invite each franchise to come forward and choose their numbers. Yannick Carrier, who is on the players' registration list, is no longer available. Terrence Hines will be unavailable for the first 2 weeks of the tournament. Nevin Stewart will be unavailable for the first 50% of the tournament. And Jason Mohammed will be unavailable for the first couple of weeks of the tournament. So once again, Yannick Carrier is no longer available. Terrence Hines, Nevin Stewart, and Jason Mohammed are all unavailable for the first part of the tournament. So what I'd like to do now is invite each franchise in an order that have been given by the administrators to come forward and select from the glass bowl. So Blue Devils, if you will. He's forgotten his franchise, has Riyad Emirates. I invite you to open the envelope in front of us. Let us know what number you have. You sure? So the Blue Devils have selected number 1. And they will select first. Leatherback Giants, please have a representative come forward. The big Mario Belcon. So the Leatherback Turtles have selected 6. Leatherback Giants, I beg your pardon. Parakeet Buccaneers. They have selected 8, so Parakeet Buccaneers will be 8th. Run Getters, a representative, please. Amrit. Run getters have selected 7. Sampami. Kukriko Cavaliers. And while Samp Army selects Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, you'll be next. Samp Army will select 4th, Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. So Scarlet Ibis Scorchers will select 2nd. Soca Kings. And of course, the Steel Pan players you will select last. So Steel Pan players will select 3rd by nature of what's left in the pan. So as we get into the draft selections, I want to invite you once again, if you have any changes, whether to your retentions list or players that you want to select or players you know that are unavailable, please inform the ladies at the head table. And after all selections have been made for round picks, first will be Blue Devils, followed by Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, followed by the Steel Pan players, followed by Sampami Kokriko Cavaliers, followed by Soca Kings, followed by Leatherback Giants, followed by the Run Getters, and then the Buccaneers, the Parakeet Buccaneers. And as with every season, we will start in ascending order, 1 through 8 in the first round. We will reverse in round 2 in descending order, 8 to 1. And then each subsequent round after that, each team will get the opportunity to select first in that round. So, as we begin the official part of the draft, I've been informed as well by the administrators that teams, you are going to be given 60 seconds once the round has started and your number has been called. You will get 60 seconds to make known to the room your draft selection. So Blue Devils, you're on the clock and you will select first. The Blue Devils' first pick, Evan Lewis. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, you're on the clock. Jed Gooley. Of course, Jed was initially retained but chose to go into the draft. So the Scorchers have selected Jed Gooley. Steel Pan players, you're on the clock. Shannon Gabriel to the Steel Pan players. Of course, he needs no introduction. the West Indian player. Sampami, you're on the clock. Mikel Govaya to Sampami Kukiku Cavaliers. Soca Kings, you're on the clock. Lendell Simmons to the Soca Kings. Leatherback Giants, you're up. William Perkins to the Leatherback Giants. Run Getters, Vikash Mohan to the Run Getters. And the final pick in round 1, Parakeet Buccaneers. Joshua James. So that will conclude round 1. Which Joshua James? There are 2 Joshua Jameses in the list. The one with the academy. The one out of Wim Tobago. Who's representing the West Indies Academy at present. So confirmation of the end of round 1. And we get into round 2. So the order will now reverse. Parakeet Buccaneers, you're on the clock. Sion Hackett. I've just been informed that Hackett is unavailable. So you're going to get an opportunity to reselect Buccaneers. Samuel Rupnarain. Run Getters. Mbiki Joseph. Leatherback Giants. Keyshawn Dillon. Soca Kings. Shatruhan Rambaran. Sampami. Isaiah Big Raj Raja. Steel Pan players. Dexter Sween was actually retained by his franchise, the Scorchers. Navin Bidesi to the Steel Pan players. Scarlett Ibis. Nevin Stewart. Of course, just again a note on Nevin, he'll be unavailable for the first couple of weeks of the tournament. And Blue Devils, you will bring us to the end of round 2. Of course, just a reminder for those who are viewing live on Cricket 360 and 360 TV and around the world, this year's edition, Season 5, will be played at the Queen's Park Oval from the 7th to the 21st of July 2024. Ricky Jaipal to the Blue Devils to complete round 2 of the draft. I've just been informed that Jelani Seals has been added to the draft availability list. Jelani Seals is now available as we go into round 3. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, you get the opportunity to select first in this round. So Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, you're on the clock. Amir Sipol. Namir Sipol. The Scorchers. Blue Devils, you get the opportunity to select second in round 3. So Ricky Jaipal is now unavailable. And Blue Devils, what you will do at the end of all the rounds, you'll be able to let the head table know who will be the replacement player for that player you picked in the previous round. You're on the clock for your third pick. Stephen Solomon to the Blue Devils. Parkit Buccaneers, your third pick. Zachary Raghunath. Run Getters, you're on the clock. Brandon Ramdial. Brandon Ramdial to the Run Getters. Leatherback Giants. Rakesh Sicharan to the Leatherback Giants. Soca Kings. Terrence Hines to the Soca Kings. And again, just note that Terrence Hines will be unavailable for the first portion of the tournament. Sampami. Jordan Warner to Sampami Kukriko Cavaliers. And the final pick in round 3, Steel Pan Players. Say again, Stephen. Antonio Gomez to the Steel Pan Players. And that will complete round 3. Round 4, Run Getters. You get the opportunity to select first in round 4. Ishmael Ali to the Run Getters. Parkit Buccaneers. Justin Gangu. Blue Devils, you're up. Samir Ali to the Blue Devils. Samir is unavailable. Cyrus Cooper. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Eric Garcia to the Scorchers. Steel Pan Players. Cleavon Calawan to the Steel Pan Players. Sampami. Isaiah Gomez. Soca Kings. Imran Khan. And the final pick in this round, Leatherback Giants. Nathaniel McDavid to the Leatherback Giants. That will complete a round 4. Round 5. Steel Pan Players, you get the opportunity to select first in this round, round 5. Steel Pan Players, you're on the clock. Eque Craig to the Steel Pan Players. Sampami. Anderson Mahis. Soca Kings. Joshua Telemac to the Soca Kings. Leatherback Giants. Marlon Barkley. Run Getters. Say again. Darius Bisay to the Run Getters. Parakeet Buccaneers. Amit Sanka to the Buccaneers. Blue Devils. Abdurrahman Juman. And the Scarlet Ibis Scorchers, you will complete this round. Jaron Alfred to the Scorchers. That will complete round 5. Round 6. Leatherback Giants, you get the opportunity to select first in round 6. Mario Belcon to the Leatherback Giants. Run getters, you're on the clock. Keon Isaac to the run getters. Parakeet Buccaneers. Of course, as you go through your players list in front of you, keep your eyes on the screen. As a player has been selected, they will be removed from the list in front of you on the projector. Buccaneers. Vikash Rampasad to the Buccaneers. Blue Devils. Keon was just selected in the previous round. Blue Devils will be given an additional 30 seconds to make their pick. Sanjay Jawa here. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Mario Albert to the Scorchers. Steel Pan Players. Rajiv Ramnath. Sampami. Nathaniel McDavid was already selected. Anthony Simmons to Sampami Kokriko Cavaliers. And the final pick in round 6, Soka Kings. Akshaya Prasad to the Soka Kings. And that will complete round 6. And quickly into round 7. Samp Army, you get the opportunity to select first in this round. Liam Mamchan to the Samp Army Kokiko Cavaliers. Soka Kings. Kadeem Allen to the Soka Kings. Leatherback Giants. Leatherback Giants. Selwyn Alert to the Leatherback Giants. Run Getters. Junior Bailey to the Run Getters. Parakeet Buccaneers. Andre Medina to the Buccaneers. Blue Devils. Christopher Ramsaran to the Blue Devils. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Joshua Ramdu. And the final pick in round 7, Steel Pan Players. Jelani Seals to the Steel Pan Players. And that will complete round 7. Round 8. We will start with the Soka Kings. You're the only team that haven't picked first in the draft. So, round 8, Soka Kings, you are on the clock. Keegan Jagasa to the Soka Kings. Leatherback Giants. Sachin Baliram to the Giants. Run Getters. Jordan Samkaran. Parakeet Buccaneers. Justin Manick to the Buccaneers. Blue Devils. Kyle Rupchan to the Blue Devils. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Jaden Kent. Steel Pan Players. He was removed when you all selected him. So he's available. They're saying that he's not on the list that they have. You've been informed that he is available and he can be selected. So Steel Pan Players, you're still on the clock. And the Samp Army, you will have the final pick of round 8. Sachin Sicharan to Samp Army. And that will conclude round 8. So for the final round, round 9, we will go in ascending order from 1 through 8 as we started. Blue Devils, you're on the clock. Vikesh Harilochan. Scarlet Ibis Scorchers. Shiva Makoon to the Scorchers. Steel Pan Players. Ricardo Chase to the Steel Pan Players. Samp Army. Iran Nanan to Samp Army Kukriko Cavaliers. Soka Kings. Jairam Wahed to the Soka Kings. Leatherback Giants. Cristiano Ramnanan to the Giants. Run Getters. Gideon Singh. And the final pick in the draft, Parakeet Buccaneers. Zia Gomez. He was selected prior. Stefan Sipasad to the Parakeet Buccaneers. And that pick will complete all 9 rounds of this season's draft, season 5 of the Dream11 Trinidad T10 Blast. The only remaining order of business, Blue Devils have 1 player that they need to select to replace the unavailable player picked in round 2. So now that everyone has selected their 14 players, that will complete the draft. And of course, thank you to our main sponsor, our title sponsor, Dream11, for yet another season, season 5 of this Trinidad T10 Blast. And a reminder that this year's edition, this season's edition, will be played at the Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain from the 7th of July to the 21st of July. Matches at 12 noon and 2:30 p.m. So all 8 franchises have their 5 retained players, and through 9 rounds have selected 9 additional players to round out 14 players per franchise. You are now free to select, chop and change your team if you need to. Of course, a reminder that some of these players that were listed have become unavailable as of this morning due to other commitments around the region and around the world. So do ensure that you double check through your players list and your selections. And once you have any changes to your teams, please ensure that you inform the administrators so the relevant changes may be made prior to the start of the competition on the 7th of July. And that will bring us to a conclusion of this season's draft. I want to invite you guys to stick around, have some light refreshments, and then with all orders of business now complete, look forward to seeing you at the Queen's Park Oval on July 7th. And of course, a thank you to Cricket 360 and 360 TV for continued coverage of the Dream11 Trinidad T10 Blast.